Well, hello everybody. Welcome. So I haven't live streamed in like 2 weeks now. I've been busy. My schedule has been changing and everything, but I'll do my best to live stream every single week. Okay? So at this point, I'm pretty much sure my mic works because I just heard myself talk. So my mic definitely works. Um, So I'm just going to go ahead and get started while everybody else trickles in here. And of course, you can watch this video later. So we all know that COVID-19 is kind of like going on, right? And I was wondering like how COVID-19 is impacting the data science job market. And I just found this article the other day and I thought it was really, really interesting. So basically, this article is by somebody on Medium, and it says they work at a company that mentors data scientists for free until they're hired, which sounds interesting. So what they said so far is has been the impact of the data science job market is that there has been a hiring slowdown. So in March of this year, they had like 60 to 70 there was a hiring slowdown by 60 to 70% for data scientists, right? And they said that the slowdown is uneven. So companies that depend on food food traffic, like retailers, has been really really hit hard, while business to business software companies has been hiring normally. So there is an uneven distribution of the hiring slowdown. And then and they also said that in April they have seen more mentees got hired in April compared to March. So that's good. It seems like things are picking back up again. And then there has been job offers withdrawn. That's really really sad. Imagine like going through the job interview process, working really hard, going through your technical interviews, getting a job, and then at the end the company's like, hey, I know we offered you a job and everything, but now we have to take that job back. And that's really really heartbreaking for anybody to go through. So but there has been job offers withdrawn. It says that in March there are several finalized job offers withdrawn. That is like contract signed agreement and everything, like we will pay you this much money and you start on Monday. Welcome aboard job offers pulled and withdrawn. So that's really really sad. And some of the companies that withdrew the offer were startups. Maybe they didn't have enough funding, and others were big companies that were withdrawing job offers. So that was, I mean, that's difficult for anybody to go through. And then that was in March though, but then in April they haven't seen any more of these job offers withdrawn so far. Maybe probably because companies have adjusted their hiring plans. What happened in March was kind of unprecedented. It wasn't planned. It was kind of like sudden, you know. So I think after what happened in March, in April, companies are kind of like getting a hang of what they need to do to keep the company afloat. All right, seems like we are back and we are connected. So I didn't know why it said no data a second ago. Every time I'm live streaming, I'm always nervous because I'm like, what's going on? Is everybody hearing me? Is are we connected to? And I'm just checking here to make sure that my live is going through. All right, let's get back to this. So and then job application. So it says that it says YouTube is not receiving enough video to maintain smooth streaming, as such viewers will experience buffering. Well, if this is buffering, I'm sorry. You can always come back and watch it later. All right. So job applications. It says that several job posts right now are dots, basically, which is a lot of companies have canceled these job applications internally because of COVID-19, but they haven't yet deleted their job posts. So applying to jobs right now through job boards might be a mistake, because a lot of those jobs are not really no longer exist internally, but they haven't like deleted the jobs yet. And I know that's always heartbreaking, and I know that's like, I mean, it's kind of difficult to know which jobs are like dots, which jobs are not like um real. you know when you're looking at a job at a job board, you don't know which jobs are real and which ones are not. So yeah, so a lot of jobs right now that are posted are like, I don't know, fake jobs, because the job no longer exists internally. And then it says that there has been video interviews. So basically, if you get an interview right now, it's most likely going to be over Zoom. It's most likely going to be using a video platform as opposed to in-person interviews. Personally, I wouldn't mind video interviews, but yeah. And then basically, because of COVID-19, everything is going remote, right? So almost every job is suddenly remote, unless you're part of the essential workforce, then your job is not necessarily remote. But the good thing about remote is that now you can apply to job in Arkansas. I don't know. I mean, you're in Seattle. Working on predicting insurance premium project, and I have it pulled up here. So I made a second copy of the exact same project, and the reason why I did this is because today I'm just going to focus on refactoring the code, right? So let's scroll down here to so this is kind of a list we made for ourselves of things we want to get done. We have done a whole lot of this. We have done the data wrangling process. We've pretty much cleaned up the data, and of course, as time goes by and as this project goes by, I might be like, oh, maybe this data cleaning process I did wasn't the right way to do it. It wasn't the right thing to do, right? And I might go back and change it. But for the most part, the overall data wrangling process is done. Right now, what I want to do is refactor the code and just create a function for data wrangling. And I know code refactoring is not like the sexy thing to do, but it's actually a necessity, you know. And I could do the code refactoring later, but I kind of like to get things done as I'm moving along. Like, I'm done with the data wrangling process, so I just want to go ahead and refactor the code and clean up my code before I move on to visualization. I don't want my notebook to get too messy before I actually start cleaning up my notebook, because if my notebook is way too messy, then I'll feel lazy. I won't feel the need or the incentive to clean up my notebook. So today's live stream is not necessarily doing anything new. We might get to that. I'm not quite sure how long it will take me, but today is basically refactoring my notebook and basically putting all the data wrangling that we did in a notebook. I mean, putting it in a function. So the way I've done this is I've created a duplicate of this notebook. I'm just gonna put them side by side to make life a whole lot easier. All right. And if you have questions at any time, just let me know in the comment section below. And I need my water bottle. Where is it? Gotta find my water. So I got my water, which is good. Now I can get back to work. So let's see here. All right. Let me see here. I don't know what's going on. Maybe my streaming software is not like working properly. I don't know what's going on. All right, so let's get back to this here. So let me see. Actually, I'm feeling right now just thinking about uh, taking my data wrangling process, my data wrangling stuff, and putting it in a notebook. Just thinking about that is making me lazy. I just want to get to the visualization. You know what? I changed my mind. Today I am going to work on visualization. Just because visualization is more fun than refactoring my code. Like, who wants to refactor your code? It's a necessary process. I'll probably do it on the next live stream. But today let's just work on visualization. Let's do something more fun. Why not? Let me get here. Okay, so yeah, this is what I was planning, but like I just said, we'll just work on data visualization today. And let me go ahead and make a copy of this. I want to copy this. Scroll down. Let's put this here and let's tell this that this is a markdown. And let's execute this. Alright, so I think we've done most of this. Let's say drop response column. I think we've done this. I've done this here. I think we did this last week or last 2 weeks. And this is done too. Alright. So these are the visualizations. Alright, so let's see here. This is our data. Alright, so for a whole lot of this, I did one hot encoding, but if I think that one hot encoding is not the right encoding for the visualization I want to create, I may have to encode it differently. Okay, so here we have our training data set. And then we have our test encoded. Alright, so they look about the same. That is good. So visualization is what visualization do we want to create? We want to explore the relationship between the month since last claim and the insurance premium. Alright. So we set our target for prediction to be customer lifetime value and insurance premium. So for this we like so for this project I was kind of thinking of having two targets. Like we want to predict your insurance premium, but we also want to see your customer lifetime value, right? So basically we'll have like two targets, and we can work on this separately. Like we work on the project with just insurance premium as a target. When we start building a model, we'll probably build a model with just insurance premium as a target, and then build the model with customer lifetime value as a target, right? So there's different ways we could do this. So in this case, I think we should have. I think in this case, I have like two targets for this project. All right, so this is like the main baseline, and of course, this is a regression problem, and for a regression problem, right, you can use the mean as your baseline. But today I'm just going to focus on visualization, and if we get done with our visualization, then I might do some code refactoring. And I want to stop streaming around 3 p.m. so I have like 90 minutes to work on this project. So let's say explore relationship between month since last claim and insurance premium. So okay, let's work on that. Work on visualizations today, and if time permits, work on refactoring, wrangling data. I like to write down what I'm doing, because next week when I come back to this project I would have forgotten everything I did. So visualization, actually I want to do let's see. I like to keep track of, this is 4, 16, 19. Just keeping track of each day. And I want this to be a markdown. Alright. Alright, so this way when I come back to this project in the future, I will know like my progress, where I'm at, what I'm doing, what I was thinking at the time, so yeah. So let's say visualize, explore relationship between, what, I just copy this. Alright, so I think for this visualization I'm just going to work with well, this is what I was thinking. We could do seaborn pair plot, but we use a subsample, right? So let me see something like this. Let me see. We could use seaborn pair plot to look at visualization for the entire data set, but we need to use a subset sample of data set to avoid crashing our notebook. Like one thing I found out with seaborn pair plot is that if you feed something like 10,000 rows to seaborn pair plot, it's like the result is going to be megabytes of data, and the visualization is not going to look very good, and it could crash your notebook. So if you're going to do seaborn pair plot, it's good to take, like, let's say a sample of 100 rows, for example, and then use that for your seaborn pair plot. I mean, I could do that in the future, but that's just an idea for now. So I'm gonna take this and put it up here as an idea of one thing we could do. Let's get back to this. All right, so let's see. Month since last claim. Month since last claim. So this is like how many months since you made your last claim, and your insurance premium. So let's see. Monthly premium auto, right? So month since last claim is number of months since you made your last claim, right? And then monthly premium auto is equal to insurance premium. So let's go ahead and import plotly.express as px. We are going to be using plotly express in this visualization, and let's just do a scatter plot. Why not, right? No module named plotly. Oh, of course there's no module named plotly. So let me see, how do I install plotly? Install plotly. There's no module named plotly in my virtual environment. So let's go to my virtual environment here, and let's, before I even do it, let me just do git add everything, git commit, actually let's say defined objectives for today, because that's really all I've done today, defined objectives for today. All right, so I don't have plotly in my virtual environment. I'm working from a virtual environment and I don't have plotly in it, so that's why this code didn't work, right? So, and to check what you have installed and what you don't have installed, you can look at your pip file, or you can do something like pipenv graph, I believe. Well, that's a whole lot of stuff. Yikes, I wasn't expecting this much stuff. Alright, so we have scikit-learn, we have scipy, stats models, pandas, numpy. So that's kind of what we have here. We don't have plotly. Damn, that's a whole lot of stuff. I wasn't expecting this much list. But let's just do pipenv install Plotly. So it's installing Plotly right now, and while that's happening, if you have any questions, just let me know. And we'll just patiently wait for Plotly to install. Alright. Fingers crossed that our stuff locks, our pip file locks. This is like the boring part of coding, the part where you just install stuff and you just patiently wait and wait some more and just wait. I thought about playing music, but I really don't like to play music while I'm coding. Um, because when I'm playing music, my brain is not working at 100% capacity. I like silence. With silence, I can think, my brain can focus and stuff. One thing I've done sometimes is watch Netflix and code. I've done that sometimes. Like if it's a mundane task that doesn't require brain heavy calculations or thinking, then I might put on Netflix, while I get it done. Especially if it's something I've done before where I don't have to do a lot of thinking, then I might have Netflix playing while I code. But for the most part, when I'm doing something for the first time or trying out something new, or when I have to do a lot of thinking, then I really don't use Netflix. Or music, I just have silence. This thing is still locking, which is um, kind of making me worried. Why is it taking so long to lock? While this is working, let me go ahead and pull up Plotly documentation. So uh, let's do scatterplot Plotly. Yes. Okay, so let's see. Let's go here. This is Plotly documentation, and I'm going to do scatterplot right now with Plotly. And this is the syntax for it. I mean, I already know the syntax, but I like to have the documentation put up whenever I'm working on something, so that if I need to check something real quick, I have the documentation right here. Basic charts. Let's say this is like the different charts you can have with Plotly. Let's check our stuff again. Alright, so alright, we'll just wait for this to complete. Yeah, I didn't know Plotly installing Plotly would take this long. If I knew, I would have done it before I started the live stream, so we don't have to wait so long. But this is the thing about coding. Especially with data science, you just have to patiently wait while your stuff installs, and we just keep waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting. Yep, we just wait for the pip file to lock. let's look at the different things we could do plotly, right? So actually, let's go back here for a second. So we are going to explore relationship between month since last claim and insurance premium. And then let's see. Do I want to do this with my training data set, or yeah, I'll just do this with the training data set alone. Let's see. Wait, insurance premium and premium price. Isn't that the same thing? Am I losing it already? um Monthly premium and auto. Month since last claim and premium price. These two are the exact same thing. Huh. Maybe I'll change this to lifetime value. Ooh. So we could also do a 3D scatter plot where we look at, so I just got an idea. Looking at lifetime value, insurance premium, and month since last claim. Let's just start with these three visualizations for now. See what they look like, and kind of like that will give us an idea of what we want to do next. Let's see. All right. Ooh, installing initially failed dependencies. I think everything is done here now. So let me go ahead and save everything. And if you want to check what's installed and what's not installed, well, let's just go ahead and run this now. And it worked. We have Plotly installed. But if you want to do a sanity check, you can always look at your pip file. So my pip file says Plotly right here. So I have Plotly installed. Ooh, somebody, how do you say them? Baziru? Baziru says they are enjoying my studies from Cameroon. Well, thank you. I'm happy you like my stuff, and Cameroon sounds really nice. I'm happy you like my stuff, so yeah. So let's go ahead and let's see here. Actually, I want to go ahead and commit this. So get add, get commit, message, installed, Plotly. Alright, so let's see. Basically this right here. Now, so in this case, you can just do px.scatter. And the way Plotly works is that you put in the name of the data frame. So my data frame I'm using here is join encoded. And then you put in your x. In this case, my x is going to be, what should I use as x? So I'm going to use month since last claim. Month since last claim. And this needs to be in quotations. I think I haven't used Plotly in a while. And my y is going to be monthly premium auto. So if we go to the documentation here for scatter plots in Plotly, says px dot scatter, x equal to this, y equal to that. That's one way to do it, but you could also here it said the data frame x equal to this and y equal to this. Maybe we do need to specify x and y equal to. Yeah, I think we do need to specify that x is equal to this and y equal to that. So let's go ahead and do that. Actually, let's go ahead and run this and see. It's not showing us anything. I wonder why. Do we need to specify? Why is it not showing anything? Why is it not showing anything? Alright, we've got a problem here. Do we need to do fig.show? Really? I remember last time I used plotly, I didn't have to do fig.show, but I think problem with matplotlib. Alright, so let's just do as they say, and let's specify fig.show. This is a, I've run into this problem before. I think this has something to do with matplotlib. It has something to do with matplotlib. I've run into this problem before where like plotly is not showing the graph. Let's see. Not showing graph. Plotly graph not showing Jupyter Notebook. Yep, yes, absolutely, that's our problem. Let's see. You need to change init notebook mode. I didn't install the notebook version, did I? Let's say install plotly Jupyter Notebook. Let's see. I think I need to install the notebook version of it. So let's see. No. So for use in classic Jupyter Notebook, install the notebook and IPJet packages using. You've got to be kidding me. Okay, so alright. So for our stuff to show in Jupyter Notebook, we probably have to install this. PRP install notebook. Let's see. Alright, so for use in Jupyter Lab, install the Jupyter Lab and IPJet packages. Alright, so this is what we need to do to install it in Jupyter Lab. So ppm install Jupyter Lab equal to. Do we need to specify this? Let me see. Let me see what else the documentation says. PPM install Jupyter Lab 1.2 iPad. Yeah, but let me go ahead and open this again in a new window. Mm, 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 mm. Plotly Jupyter Lab. Getting started with Plotly. Let me see. No, that doesn't solve my problem. Let me try this real quick and see if this will work. But I'm not quite sure just that. So let's see. Jupyter Notebook. Alright, so Jupyter supports Python 3.5. So I know they have Jupyter Lab, but um, I mean it says. Let me see here. In case you are using it, I think this is what I'm looking for. Well, great. Plotly Jupyter Lab extension. So let's see. Plotly Jupyter Lab extension. Alright. Jupyter Lab Plotly extension. But I don't want this install ppm install. This is probably what I need right here. Let me see. Give me a second here. Like I haven't seen like. Well, I don't run the following. I don't run all these commands in my virtual environment. Um. Alright. So let me try this. The Anaconda version of it. Uh. But let's try this. Let's try let's try mm, mm, mm. ppm install Jupyter Lab Plotly extension. So instead of C conda forge, we do Jupyter Lab Plotly extension. Let's run this. Hopefully it doesn't corrupt my virtual environment. Yeah, that's not working. So let's see. Why is this not working? So let's say install Plotly in Jupyter Lab. I'm not trying to install Jupyter Lab. Why is this not working? I don't know. It says, let's see here. Use fig equal to figure widget instead of. Okay, so let's try that. Let's just try still not showing. Um let's go back here. So that didn't work. So let me ppenv uninstall. And to go ahead and remove that. Just to make sure my environment is not corrupted. Okay, so let me see. Let's see if I can install Plotly here. And I'm going to wait for this to finish locking. Alright. So successfully locked my pip file again, which means it's not alright, so we already have Plotly installed here, so usually if I just do px.scatter, this should work. So I don't know why this is not working. No, it's not working. Let's see. I don't think I've had this problem before. Maybe it's because I usually work in Jupyter notebooks instead of Jupyter labs. So um Jupyter Lab extension install. Jupyter widget, Jupyter Lab manager. Jupyter Lab extension install, Jupyter Lab Plotly. No build. No, I don't think that's what I need though. This see that's the thing with programming. You always run into problems. So let's see. Um, One thing I could do is I could change my notebook. I could change my notebook. I don't know why this is not showing. Um, yeah, but this is not very helpful though. I already have Jupyter notebook. That's the point. I already have Jupyter lab. There has to be an easier way to do this than to just rebuild everything. So one thing I can do, because I don't want to like, I don't want to do that. I'll figure this out later. So let me go ahead and save everything, and then let's go ahead and launch Notebook and see if we can use Jupyter Notebook instead. Yeah, this inside Jupyter Notebook. So for me to use Plotly inside Jupyter Lab, I have to do all of this. Um, and then do this, and then do this, and then do this. Do I really want to go through all of that? Here, let me just try to work in Jupyter Notebook, and if stuff doesn't work from Jupyter Notebook, then I will have to go through the manual process of installing it. You know, that's why do developers do this? Makes me so mad. Let's see. Why do they do this? Let's go ahead and run everything. So kernel, let's see, I want to run all cells. So this is classic Jupyter Notebook. Nope, nope, nope. Let me see here. Let me go to an account and look at something. Let's go to environment and let's type in Plotly, because I now have Plotly in. So here all I have is Plotly. I don't have like cancel. Alright, so I guess I just have to go through the manual build process, because Plotly is not working in local Jupyter notebooks, which is crazy. I don't think I've had this problem before, because I usually use Plotly in local Jupyter notebooks. So why is it like all of a sudden on like not working? Let me go ahead and kill this kernel. Shut down this kernel. I guess we have to go through the manual installation process really in our environment. So alright, let's go ahead and save everything, and just make sure if stuff crashes, you know, if stuff crashes, I just want to make sure everything is saved up onto this point. So it's my kernel is still active, so let's just run this one more time. Nope. Um, that's crazy. All right, so let's go ahead and git commit about to install Plotly extensions. Oh, git commit git push origin master. All right, everything is online, and because I'm very paranoid, I'm just going to refresh this and just make sure everything is online. About to install. Okay, yeah, everything is online. If I click on this, all right. Now let's go ahead and try to go through this entire process right here. So here is the documentation. Um, let me see if this is more useful. I know what plot is. Okay. But I don't understand why you need to like install. Um, so we actually need to like install Jupyter Lab again, even though we already have Jupyter Lab. Well, I guess. So I guess we'll go through this process and see if we can get Plotly working in Jupyter Lab. We are developers and all we do is solve problems, right? Alright, let's pull this up, and I have everything online now, so if I break my environment, I can just clone it again and have a, like, and if I break stuff, I don't have it online, I can just re-download it. So let's do here. So let's see, let's go ahead and do pipenv. Alright, and let's go ahead and run this. And then after that we have to go through this process, and then we have to install node. What the heck is node? um so here it says install node. All right, I don't know if I already have node, but if I don't, I guess I'll find out, right? All right, so okay, that's error, could not find a version that matches. I Okay, there are incompatible versions in the resolved dependencies. All right, so let's see. Okay, so let's see here. Huh. Mm, 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 mm. Okay, so let me see. Did I copy something wrong, or let me see. Let's go back here. 7.5. So let's see what the error message says. Okay. Could not find a version. There are incompatible versions in the result dependency. So what does this even mean? Pipenf log clear. Let's try this. All right, so let's see here. Um, huh. I don't know why I'm getting that error message. Let's try this one. Actually, let's first uninstall what we already have here. I don't know why I'm getting that error message. So pipenv uninstall. Let's just make okay. Alright, so let's try, instead of saying equal to 7.5, let's try doing let's try not this not what I'm looking for. Let's try doing greater than or equal to 7.5, and then this. Let's try this instead. Let's see. Okay. You likely have a mismatch in your subdependencies. Huh. This is just giving me trouble today. So let's see. Locking failed. Um. Oh, that's not what I'm looking for. Let's just go ahead and uninstall this. Actually, let's go ahead and do this instead. I don't think this is a problem, but let's just go ahead and see. What just happened? Locking failed again. p5.lock is out of date. So um ppm shell. So let me see. And this is still not working. No, it's still not working. Let's look at so we have this here. Okay. Let's see. Let's go ahead and remove this. All right, and then let's go ahead and save this. Let's just go ahead and destroy this environment and reinstall it. All right. Let's go ahead and exit. This is why I saved everything. So like, so let's exit this, and then exit this. Well, let's go back here and let's see, copy this, and let's go ahead and kill this environment here. Let me see, close this file, shut down. All right. Cd desktop, git clone, so this is the thing with program, you always run into problems. There's always some problem. Actually, before I do this, let me go ahead and remove the original one from my desktop. So let's go to my desktop here, and let's remove all right. I don't have insurance premium. Okay, I don't have it here. Git clone this. All right, and cd insurance premium prediction. Let's go back here. ppm shell. All right, let's see if we can open this in all right. I don't know why this is not working. So sometimes in Visual Studio Code, you can get your notebook working, sometimes you can't. Let me see. Control Shift P. No, let me see. I don't know why VS Code is not showing the notebook. We pretty much spent all the debugging stuff, like we haven't actually written any code. Um, I mean, it does this. I mean, VS Code already does this, but I don't know why sometimes it doesn't convert stuff to it doesn't convert stuff to Jupyter notebooks. VS Code is weird. Sometimes it converts Jupyter notebooks into Jupyter notebooks. Sometimes it doesn't. So it's like, what's going on? No. And I don't know why. Let's see. There's so many things wrong with VS Code. Like seriously. If when I open this in VS Code, it should open with this environment already. So it's like, let me say cd model. See, it's not opening this. It's not like the environment is not popping up right here. It's supposed to have the environment. The environment is not showing up. It's not converting this into a notebook. Why is it that nothing ever works in coding? I swear to God. Nothing. It's not working. Alright, so I guess we have to use because oh, that's not what I wanted to do. It is not recognizing this as a Python notebook. I still have to wonder why. All right, let's go ahead and let me actually search this real quick. Why Jupyter? Why VS Code not recognizing Jupyter notebook? Oh, okay. So To work with Jupyter Notebook, you must activate an Anaconda environment in VS Code or another Python environment in which you have installed the Jupyter package. So I'm guessing the Jupyter package is not installed in my virtual environment. Okay. So, okay. Whew. Let's see. Let's see if it will work with code now. You see, with programming, you spend 80% of your time solving technical problems, and then you spend the other 20% actually coding. Like today, I was going to work. I see it's almost 3 p.m. Right? I was going to live stream until 3 p.m. So I feel like I just wasted today's live stream trying to figure out, oh, why is Plotly not working in Jupyter Lab, and then okay, Plotly, and then why is Visual Studio Code not opening Jupyter Notebook? So it's like it's always something. I swear. I'm just pissed off today. I'm just really mad. Like, ah, feels very unproductive today. So we don't have Jupyter in our virtual environment. So this virtual environment I'm working in, alright? We don't have Jupyter in it. So this is locking, and why is it paused? I don't know. Alright, so why is it paused? Oh. Fix this here. I don't know why it's like. Let's put this here. My microphone stand is acting up. Alright, so now let's do, if I do code from here and see if we to convert it into Jupyter Notebook. Still not working. We have Jupyter, right? If we look at our pip file, we have Jupyter, right? So let's say task manager. Maybe I need to kill VS Code completely. So let's see if I can find VS Code. VS Code is not even running. Let's see. Because maybe it's just cache, or I don't know why. It is still not converting this into Jupyter Notebooks. That's another problem we are dealing with here. So I have to figure out why is it that when you open a notebook in VS Code from a virtual environment, it doesn't convert it into a virtual environment. So do Control Shift P. So even if we do that, I've been doing Control Shift P, right? So Control Shift P, Python. Let's see. We have to select our environment. Control Shift P. See, no matching commands. No results found. Python. Nothing. I don't know what's going on with VS Code, I swear to God. Let's see. VS Code Python extension, open a Jupyter notebook in a notebook editor. It's one problem after the other. So let's see. VS Code Python extension. Do we even have a Python extension? Let's see here. Where was that the whole time? So wait, what was that? Enabled Anaconda Arable Python. I already have the Python, so it says debugging this. So I already have the Python here, so it's like show no, that's not what I'm looking for. I already have Python notebook, so how do you choose your interpreter? So let's say Control Shift P. I don't know why Python is not showing up right here. Why is this disabled though? So my Python extension is actually disabled. Huh. So how do I can't enable it, so let's go ahead and uninstall. So why is my Python extension disabled? I didn't even know that until now. Right now, I guess at this point you can pretty much leave, because I'm not doing anything useful at this point. I'm just pissed off that nothing is working today. Okay, so why? So when I do Control Shift P, why is it not letting me change the choose environment though. And why is Python not on this list? I was just working on a, because what's baffling me is that, let's say, if I just open VS Code, right? Um, if I just do, see now Python extension is loading. Why wasn't it loading before? It's still not loading on this part, so now it's loading here. This is just driving me crazy. So Python extension for some reason wasn't loading before, and now it's loading. Yes, it's not working very well. Okay. Yes, take the survey, and let's see. Not at all likely. This sucks. Let's see. I wish nothing. Let's see. I'm going to give them a bad review so they can improve it. Python extension not loading when opened from virtual environment. When opening. Let's say done. Okay. So stuff is working now. Great. So VS Code is finally working. We've solved that problem. Alright, let's see. Ah, look. See, this is why I wanted to use VS Code. Because Plotly Express works in VS Code. So I don't know why Plotly Express wasn't working in Jupyter Lab. Well, I know why. Because I had to like install all these stupid extensions in order for Plotly Express. You had to go through this process in order for Plotly Express to work in Jupyter Lab, right? But I know Plotly Express works in VS Code, which is why I was trying to get it to work. Finally, it's working. I'm gonna lose my mind. You know, like it's like, oh, so mad right now. I don't need that. So let's go ahead and alright, so this is a scatter plot that I was talking about that we've been working, spent the last hour trying to get to work. I'm so freaking pissed off. Whenever stuff doesn't work, I'm always like so pissed off. I'm just like, just why? Why can't you just work? Ugh. Alright. Alright, I'm so this is kind of like the relationship between our monthly premium auto and the month since last claim. So hmm, this data is all over the place. It's not really showing us anything in particular. There's no like clear trend, So like so if the month since your last claim is like Zoom, if you never had a claim before, your insurance premium can go anywhere from $61 to $239. So there's no clear trend between people that have a whole lot of claims. Well, if you actually, month since last claim is like zero, which means you haven't claimed anything. And then this is actually month since last claim. If month since last claim is zero, that means you recently made a claim, right? Let me write that down so I remember. So if month since last claim is zero, oh, come on, that means you recently had a claim, right? If month since last claim is 30, right? That's highest number here. Well, no, 35. That means you haven't had a claim in 35 months. Alright, so there's not like a clear thing here. So we can add an OLS line. So if we'll go back here and close all of this, I want to add a trend line. So we could add a trend line to it. Let me see what's the syntax for it. So scatter plot. Let's see. Mm, trend line equals OLS. That's what I'm looking for. Let's see. Let's see if this makes any difference here. So we have a trend. Our trend line is kind of like zero. It's kind of like flat, right? So it's not like there's really nothing here. This doesn't give us much information. But let's go ahead and copy this, and let's go ahead and now let's look at lifetime value and so in this case we're looking at customer lifetime value. So all right, so let's see. Month since last claim and customer lifetime value, and let's execute this. Again, nothing to look at here. So this information doesn't really give, this visualization doesn't really give us much information. there doesn't seem to be like any relationship between the amount since your last claim and the customer lifetime value. So nothing much to look at here, but that's okay. So actually, let's look at customer lifetime value and insurance premium, right? So let's see. So PS dot scatter. Mm, we want to do and oh, now we are getting something. So basically, oh, I've been sitting for so long. I need to get up and take a walk. It's already like 3 p.m. Um, I might go a little bit longer here than I originally planned. But let's see, customer lifetime value. So there seems to be like, okay, so if the customer lifetime value, there seems to be like, let's go ahead and add a trend line here and kind of see. There seems to be some kind of positive correlation between, like the insurance premium and the customer lifetime value. So, um, yeah, so that's, man. So with monthly premium of about, like, let's say customer lifetime value. Okay, yeah, there seems to be some kind of positive trend between, um so the lower your insurance premium, the longer the customer lifetime value is. So customers with high insurance premium tend to be customers with a higher monthly premium tend to have lower lifetime value for the insurance company. you know but of course we have outliers. Like this is kind of like an outlier situation. We have outliers like this. Let's do this. Let's do value of color is not the name of a column in a data frame. What do you mean? Typo? Oh, all right. So we are using the monthly premium auto as a color, and what we see here is that these are kind of like high insurance premiums all the way here, and this is kind of like lower insurance premiums. And you can kind of see like the customer lifetime value sort of increases as the lower the insurance premium. And of course we have outliers. So we are kind of seeing a positive trend here between let's see. hmm Let's create a few more visualizations here and explore this a little bit more. Let's see. Let me go ahead and copy this again because I don't keep scrolling back here. In VS Code, pressing this turns it into a markdown, and we've kind of done this. Let's see. I don't need all this information right now. Let's go ahead and do this. So ps.scatter 3D data frame is string encoded, x equal to, let's look at month since last claim. Let's see. Maybe I want it here. This is Y and this is Z. Z, Y, and then you want month since last year. Okay, let's go to me. All right. That's a whole lot of data. Let me see if I can just take a sample of this. Let me create my visualizations using a sub sample of this. So let's call this a sample of the data. So let me see. I think I'm looking for either pandas or numpy. Pandas sample sample from data frame or something like that. I've used this before, so yeah, that's so data frame dot sample number of item from axis to return cannot be used with fraction default equal to 1 if fraction is equal to none. So you can do fraction. Let's just do 10%. So okay, I want to extract 100 random elements. Okay. Alright. So I want a sample of 100 for my visualizations. A sample of 100 for visualizations is kind of, it looks a whole lot better so you don't have so many data points all crowded together. So let's do a sample of the data. Let's do let's call it trend sample. It's equal to trend encoded dot sample, right? Sample, and then I want n equal to 100, and then So trend sample, and then I want, let's say, uh n equal to 100. 100 samples, why not? And I want random states equal to 42. Why do I use random states equal to 42? I don't know. That's what I've always used. So let me go ahead and do trend sample dot shape. So alright, I have 100 items. So here, let's just use trend sample in here. So we have less data points to look at, okay, but we can still get the general trend. Now let's use color. Let's use sure, customer lifetime value, monthly insurance premium, something like that. Alright, so we are using monthly insurance premium as the color. So do you see any trend here? Let me see. Alright, so let's look at it from here. I want to look at it from like a top-down approach. How can I get a good view of this? Okay. Orbital rotation. That's much better. Okay, so trying to find a good rotation point so we can really look at this. So that's good for me. So month since last claim, premium auto, and well, this is an outlier here. And customer lifetime value. No, that to do this. Alright, so we have a customer lifetime value here, month since last claim, and then premium auto. So what we are seeing here, monthly premium auto with low monthly premium auto doesn't, as you can see in this visualization, the monthly premium auto doesn't really affect doesn't the month since last claim doesn't have much effect on the monthly premium auto. But seems like higher premium auto potentially means higher customer lifetime value, maybe. And then we have a couple of outliers here. Let's change month since. Let's change our color to month since last claim and see, kind of see if it gives us better visualization. So month since last claim 0 and then 35, and then let's see. I mean, I like 3D graph because they're eye candy, but it doesn't provide us with much information. It's kind of difficult to read a 3D graph, right? But I create them because most times they are eye candy. Most times I create them because they're eye candy and they're fun to look at, right? And also when I build a Flask app for this. I will take these eye candy graphs and put them online. So let's say here, so this is low people that recently had a claim, right? So yeah, this 3D graph is kind of difficult to read, it doesn't give us much information, but let's create other visualization to explore this. So look at relationship between month since policy inception and the premium auto and the premium price. So let's look at that. So let me just get let's see here, we call it trend sample dot columns. So we are looking at alright, so ps dot scatter x equal to month since policy inception. Let's see. All right. Okay, that's a long list. All right. I wasn't expecting the list to be that long. Let's see. Um. All right. Let's see. Month since policy inception. That's what I'm looking for. And also, let's look at monthly premium auto. Oh, okay. So this is kind of like all over the place too. There's not like a clear trend. So you have a couple of outliers here. Now let's do this and customer lifetime. Let's do this with customer lifetime value. And let's do customer lifetime value. Actually, I think I'm also going to do this. Let me just get an import Seaborn and let's see. There's not a clear trend here. So let me go ahead and save this. I don't know if I have Seaborn already. Let me go ahead and get add, get commit, message, did a few Plotly visualizations, and then let me see. Let me go ahead and import Seaborn and see if I already have Seaborn. I do have Seaborn. So sns.pairplot. This is going to take most times. This takes some time to create, but let's see. Using Seaborn to see from a high level perspective what's the relationship is. between multiple variables. Train sample. Most times this takes some time to run, but since we gave it like a smaller sample size, I don't think it should take that long. But we'll see. We have 52 columns, so that's one of the things that's giving it a whole lot of trouble. But we have a smaller sample size, only 100 rows. But let's look at other things we wanted to visualize. So we wanted to visualize state and insurance premium and lifetime value. So basically, does the state you come from affect your insurance premium? But in this case, we use one hot encoding on the state, so as opposed to so we could recode the state and kind of use ordinal encoding for the state. Explore vehicle class and gender. I don't know. Explore vehicle class and vehicle size status. Let's see if our C-bomb plot is done yet. It's still not done. C-bomb per plot takes time to run, like seriously. Says busy, still running. Let's just wait. So after our C-bomb per plot plots, we kind of like get an idea of like visualizations we want to explore a little bit further, you know. And also these visualizations is what will end up in the Flask app that we're going to build whenever we get to that. And our pair plot is still working. So pair plot is just a way to like create visualization for everything at once. Relationship between states and insurance premium and lifetime value. Let's see. So basically what I'm doing is like instead of looking at this relationship, instead of looking at these visualizations individually, I am going to look at it as a group all at once using the C1 pair plot. And C1 pair plot is still working. I mean, we have 52 columns, so this thing is creating like 52 times 52 graphs, I'm guessing. 52 by 52 graphs, but we'll see. We'll just see what it looks like. Another to like maybe like encode state differently using ordinal encoding, but I don't know if how that will impact our model. But I don't know. Let me see why this is working. I want to search something. So how to how to um if you just click on how to in Google, what comes up? Well, how to has about 19 billion results. Then I want to do how to use two targets in data science model. I know like I can build a data science model with one target at a time. So I think this is like regression models with multiple target variables. How to predict multiple targets using linear regression. So that's what we are. That's kind of what I'm looking for. So Seaborn pair plot is still working. Multivariate regression. Is that what it's called? Okay, so I think that's kind of what I'm looking for. Yeah, multi-target regression. I don't even know if multi-target regression is possible. Where like instead of just having one target, you have multiple targets. I mean, I've built models and regressions right with single targets, but in this case, I'm kind of attempting to have multiple targets. So we'll see. You have to build multiple linear regression models in this case. I see. Multiple dependent variable. If the target variables are categorical, then it is called multi-output regression. Okay. Okay, so yeah, they haven't done multi-target regression so far. Okay. Scikit-learn has a multi-output regressor. Let's see. Multi-output regressor scikit-learn. I spend a whole lot of time reading documentation. Like as a data scientist or as a software engineer, you have to get comfortable and you have to get used to just reading lots and lots of documentation. When I first started coding, I used to not like reading documentation because it was the boring stuff, but it's a necessity, you know. And now Seaborn is still working. Um, Maybe doing that Seaborn thing wasn't a good idea. I don't know, because it's taking a really long time to do. Uh, Yikes. Maybe it was better to keep exploring the data individually as opposed to kind of trying to do the visualization all at once. But I don't know how long this is gonna take. I'll probably stay here till 4 o'clock. Then I'm like, okay, I'm done for real. Because originally I was like, I'm gonna code to like 3, but I spent like over an hour trying to solve technical problems. So I'll probably stay here till 4 o'clock, and then I'll call it a day, and then I'll see you again next week. We'll continue this project next week. Actually, next week I think we'll start building the model, and then sometime in the future I'm going to refactor the code. Okay, I promise. But not right now. Let's see. This strategy consists of feeding one regressor per target. I mean, the reason why I'm looking for this is because like I want to run a model to predict the customer lifetime value, and I also want to run a model to predict the monthly insurance premium, right? But what I didn't know is I didn't know if there was a way for me to build one model that will use all my data to predict my insurance premium auto, and also use all my data to predict the customer lifetime value, right? Instead of building two models to predict each one, can I just build one model that will predict both of them? That's kind of what I'm looking for. So multi-target regression. Multi-output regression classification. Okay. Mm, no, this is not what I'm looking for. Let's see. This seems like the most promising thing. Oh, hold on. Wait, where did it go? Do-do-do. Control F. Let's say more. Actually, yes. Yeah, this is what I'm looking for. Multi-target regression. Let's see. This strategy consists of feeding one regressor per target. Okay. This is a simple strategy for extending regressors that do not natively support multi-target regression. Alright. An estimator object implementing fit and predict the number of jobs run parallel for fit. 1. Unless when individual estimators are fast to train or predict using. Alright, let's check on this again. This is still work. I knew this was a bad idea. I just knew this was a bad idea. I don't want to terminate it. I mean, it's been working for so long, so I don't want to kind of like terminate it because I don't know how far long it is done. So, uh, let's see. SNS per plots track progress. Is it able to track my progress to see how far along it is? Let's see. Mm, this is what our machine is building right now, and it's taking it a long, long time. Um, okay, so I wanted to see if just like a way to, I wanted to see if there's like a way to track my progress. I'm like, oh, it's almost done, or it's halfway done, or stuff like that. But it doesn't seem like it. Mm, 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 mm. Mm, 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 mm. So this right here is what we are uh, trying to build right now. Hue. This is person and color palette. I should have probably done a pair plot between few of the columns as opposed to all the columns. You know, like they did here. So using the variables to specify which columns to use, because this is taking a long time. I might stop it and then specify which columns to use. So let me see. Hmm. I just leave it. I just leave it, and once this finishes, we'll just then once this finishes, we'll just look at it and then we'll call it a day. And then next week when I live stream again, we'll start working with our bundles. So let me see. Let me go back to this and keep reading the documentation. So get the set the parameters of this estimator. Mm, 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 mm. Multi sparse array like shape and samples and outputs. I want to see this in an example. Yeah, I want to see an example of this because kind of get what they are saying, but it doesn't quite make sense. Compare random forest and the multiple. Okay, so want to create a random data set. All right, so x string, x test, y string, y test, and then regression multi is equal to multi regression, multi output regressor. Okay, random forest regressor. And okay, I see how this is used. So basically for this, we'll use a regressor like, let's say, linear regression, random forest regressor. Like we can use different regressions, right? And then we take the model and pass it into a multi-affect regressor. Okay, and then we want to fit our x train, and then we want to fit our y train. And then it's a random forest regressor and estimator is this maximum depth. Okay, dot fit. Okay, predict on new data. This doesn't make sense. I wish people would just comment their code, that would make life so much easier. So this is just creating a random data set right here. But what about this? What are they doing here? So why they why mod regressor? Okay, dot predict. Want to predict our S test. Dot predict X test. Okay. We want to plot the result. It's not even showing us the results here, and it's not like this code is not well commented. It's not like showing us exactly what it's doing. It's not even showing the results here on this page. So this is why I need to keep creating data science tutorial content because of stuff like this. This code is not well commented. It's not even showing us the result of launching this code. What I wanted was like how to use multi-output regressor. So how to use multi-output regressor. Multi-output regression example. Okay, let's see if this answers our question. And our pair plot is still going. It's taking a really long time. Like I wasn't expecting it to take this much time. If I knew it was going to take this much time, then I probably wouldn't have done it. But let's just give it a few more minutes, and then if it doesn't finish, I will kill the process and I will like do it again, but with few few columns as opposed to all the columns. We'll do it with few columns as opposed to other, because here we have, after doing our one hot encoding, we have a whole lot of columns, right? And yeah, that's one of the reasons why it's taking so long. But let's see here. So here they're using, okay, so we define the model with the multi-output regressor class as an estimator. Will implement gradient boosting with default properties, and then we'll include the estimator into the multi. Okay, so in this situation they're using gradient boosting as their regressor, and then to use this multi-output regressor, you said you put it that your estimator is gradient boosting. Now, okay, so basically you, okay, so then you model that fit x train and y train, and then score equal to model dot score. Okay, all right. And we predict our now S test, and then okay, so all right, so but I want to see like what is the result of this multi-output regression like. Okay, so we'll do a prediction using our multi-output regressor, and then this plot is not labeled, so y test y2 test, y2 predicted. What does the result mean? Okay, this is not very helpful though, because again the code is not very commented, well commented, I guess. And it's like, what is the output? Okay, so the training score is 99. Okay, so what was the y target, the y trend? Let's see. Which one is your test, and which one is your test data? Like, So print extra. All right. This is not very helpful. See, this is why I keep creating tutorial content, because you come across code like this and it doesn't quite make sense. What is this person trying to what is this person trying to achieve? Like, all right. So we are back online. Like, my Wi-Fi disconnected there for like a second. Um, but the C1 pair plot is still going on, which is crazy. So I don't know how long this is gonna take, so I'm just gonna leave it and let it run. And then next week when we come back, we will look at the results of this pair plot, because I really want to see what the pair plot looks like. So when I come back next week, we'll see the results of this seaborn pair plot, and then that will give us a little bit more information and perspective on which visualizations to create, or like what visualizations or what relationships look interesting, you know. And then we'll start working on the model, beginning with baseline model. So let's say next week, look at seaborn pair plot results, then determine what visualizations to create to further explore the data, right? Then start building the model, starting with mean baseline for both targets we are working with. Alright, so that's what I'm going to be doing next week. Let me go ahead and save this. And this is taking a really long time, so I'm just going to let it work and finish whenever it finishes. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So today, well, I didn't do much today. Today was mostly troubleshooting stuff, and I created a few visualization. I figured out how to make VS Code work again, and I found that I found out that Plotly doesn't work in Jupyter Lab unless you do a whole bunch of stuff and install stuff, and just today was really frustrating, but hey, I learned a lot in the process. Alright, so that's all that matters. So yeah, next week we'll look at the results of this right here and kind of go from there. That's it for today. Thank you for watching, and I will, let's see, talk to you again next week. Hopefully next week I can live stream on Thursday again, but I'm not quite sure which day next week I'll be able to live stream again.